CTV News with Sarah Freemark.
It is a last-minute scramble at the pumps as drivers rush to fill up before prices surge once again. Good evening. It's been a long time coming, but drivers are finally getting what feels like a rare break at the pumps, with prices plunging by roughly 13 cents across our region. CTV's Luke Samard is live tonight at one of our local gas stations. Now, Luke, I hear we shouldn't get used to this price drop just yet.
Yes, Sarah, we're at the corner of Arda and Ferndale, where gas is currently $1.55.6. So quite a decent price compared to the last few weeks. And you know, drivers are on that gas price roller coaster. And of course, we're seeing today that relief at the pumps by 13 cents, but it's not expected to last till tomorrow. For some, it's been a race to fill the pumps, while others seem unfazed.
Didn't even notice. It's so high already, it really doesn't matter.
It's pretty expensive to fill up these days. I had only about a quarter tank and not really looking forward to the rest of the summer at these prices.
Those who filled up Tuesday paying the price to drive.
Not to buy yesterday, not to buy on Monday, but to wait until Wednesday to fill up, and that's exactly what they're doing today. Those who didn't, well, I guess money's no object.
Most gas stations seeing a significant decrease overnight.
Had you looked at the site, you'd have known that there was going to be a 12, 13, 14 cent decrease today for gasoline, and as much as 20 cents a liter for diesel. All this means, of course, that it's a bit of a a bit of a walk back from the 41 cent increase we've seen since the conflict began in Iran.
And it's not just those at the pumps that are feeling the pinch. Gas stations continue to see a fall in consumers due to the high prices.
No, not very busy. People, like if it used to be $100 gas, they feel a $50 gas. Okay. And our commission is same on the liter. And our credit card fees is double right now.
With the younger generation feeling the pinch.
Especially for the teenager young people, they don't have the money. They're students. Where they get the money? Right. Old people is okay, they have a big truck, they can fill up $100 gas. For teenagers, they don't have money. They're very uncomfortable.
I do worry for some young folks, though, like my kids. You know, when they commute to work, it's a big hit to them, for sure.
Now, Sarah, we're back here at Ferndale and Arda here at a local gas station, and for those at home, gas is expected to go up again tonight by about 7 cents. But Mateg says not to worry, as if you can wait until Friday, that's when we can see prices start to go back down. Reporting live in Barrie, I'm Luke Samard. Sarah, we'll send it back to you.
All right, thank you for that, Luke. We will continue to monitor the gas prices as the day goes on. A 33-year-old Barrie man is facing impaired driving charges following a crash on Monday. This is a photo from the scene near the intersection of Veterans and Mapleview Drive West, where officers say two vehicles collided shortly after 5 p.m. Upon investigation, one driver was confirmed to be impaired by a drug. No injuries have been reported. A house fire from Sunday is now being treated as suspicious. This home on Mosley Street in Wasaga Beach was in flames when emergency crews arrived on scene at 3:30 a.m. on March 22nd. Officials say no one was inside the building at the time of the fire, and it is a total loss estimated at $150,000. The OPP is now taking over that investigation. One of 5 young men charged in the August 2025 jewelry store robbery at Georgian Mall will be going to trial. CTV's Mike Arcelides reports on the latest in this multi-layered investigation.
And now 18-year-old police say had a gun on him when he was arrested following a Georgian Mall jewelry store smash and grab in August, appears headed for trial. The young man, who was 17 at the time, along with 2 of his co-accused, cannot be identified under the Youth Criminal Justice Act. He and 4 others were charged following a dramatic August 18th robbery caught on camera inside Dia Amore Jewelers. The teen was charged with having a loaded prohibited gun on him, along with robbery. He was granted bail to his mother days later on a pledge of $1,000 under strict conditions, including house arrest. Another teen has since pleaded guilty to the robbery, admitting to being one of the thieves armed with hammers who rushed into the jewelry store before being chased off and getting into a waiting stolen getaway car. Barrie police said all 5 young men were arrested after crashing into a construction zone along Innisfil Beach Road.
When I was a kid, I wanted to get hands-on.
22-year-old Ahmed Al Saeed of Barrie and 19-year-old Josiah Smith of Mississauga remain in custody. They were inside a Barrie courtroom Tuesday for a hearing and are set to return to court on Friday in Bradford. Any evidence heard in court, along with the identities of those under 18, remains protected by a publication ban. The now 17-year-old alleged getaway driver is scheduled to return to youth court in early April. D'Amore Jewelers had been victimized twice in 12 months. Jewelry stores inside the Barrie Mall have since been targeted twice more. Just before Christmas and again last week. Barrie police appealing for the public's help, finding 4 suspects seen fleeing the mall at about 6 p.m. on St. Patrick's Day. The allegations against the accused have not been tested in court. Mike Arsleedy, CTV News, Barrie.
York Regional Police are searching for at least 3 suspects after shots were fired at a home in Vaughan. Our CTV News chopper flew over the scene in the area of Kleinberg Summit Way and First Nations Trail. Police say multiple shots were fired at the home shortly before 9:30 a.m. and the suspects, who are wearing dark clothes and face coverings, left in a black SUV. It comes after police say someone tried to set a vehicle on fire at the same house on Monday. Investigators are working to determine if the 2 incidents are connected. It is one of our region's largest summer events. Today, the City of Barrie and CFB Borden officially announced the 2026 Air Show, which will feature the return of a headlining performer. CTV's Mike Lang breaks down the flight plans in the air and what it means on the ground.
We are excited to announce that we will have a remarkable comeback of the Canadian Forces Snowbirds.
Mayor Alex Nuttall and CFB Borden declaring that the 2026 Barrie Airshow will have its full fleet of scheduled headliners, including the Snowbirds, who announced their return in December.
The Snowbirds are Canadian icons, right? And they're more than a generational icon. It is so huge to have them back in the city of Barrie.
The show's air boss, Lieutenant Colonel Lyle Holbrook, who used to fly with the Snowbirds, spoke about how close they get.
There's 1 or 2 of the formations, like the Big Diamond, where they'll actually have a little bit of wing overlap. Most of the other formations are either at wingtip or a little bit further apart.
Other highlights include the CF-18 Hornet, the CAF Skyhawks, and the aerobatics of the Northern Stars. New this year, a first-ever Twilight and Fireworks show Saturday evening.
It's going to bring a lot of excitement, I think, to Kempton Belt Bay this June. We're really excited to be supporting the City of Barrie and the County of Simcoe in bringing this air show to life.
This past June, the Snowbirds were absent, and the CF-18 was grounded on the Sunday due to a technical issue. The weekend saw nearly 90,000 spectators and produced a $5.5 million economic impact.
This will be the largest, by far, air show that we've experienced in downtown Barrie.
With the Snowbirds back, the city is hoping for an even bigger turnout, which would provide a boost for downtown businesses.
People come from different places to come and watch the air show. We've been going through tough times, everybody in their own personal lives, and it gives us a moment to connect with every single person.
Hopefully this air show event will bring a lot of happiness and businesses to all the business owners.
Previous air shows also included the CHAA Harvards and Stainer-based Edenvale Classics. Now, the city did not officially say whether they'll be part of this year's show, but confirmed that the rest of the performing fleet will be shared in the coming weeks. Mike Lang, CTV News, Barrie.
Case talking about the air show makes me feel like summer's not so far away. Any truth to that?
Sure, yeah, the power of positive thinking. Well, we just got into spring. We'll wait for spring to settle in because, yeah, the early part of spring is always pretty much all over the map as far as temperatures go. And, yeah, check that box because that's exactly where we are today and where we'll be for the next little while. This is a first look at the forecast. 3 degrees right now. Beautiful Barrie, yes indeed. 33 Beacon Road, where our CTV studios are. Winds are light out of the southeast, 15 kilometers an hour. Let's take a look at the temperature outside your door as we speak. How about 5 degrees? Yeah, 5 degrees in Barrie Sound, 7 in Collingwood, 8 in Owen Sound, 6 in Mount Forest. We're looking at 4 degrees in Alliston, 2 degrees in Newmarket. Radar satellite images. Isn't that colorful? Yes. A little bit of rain. Yeah, a few flurries kicking around. Let's back it up and get a pretty good indication as to the size of this. Now, the northern part of the province, they're looking at snow. We're not looking at much snow, just a little bit of flurry activity, but for the most part, it's coming down as rain over the next little while. And coming up in just a few minutes' time, yes, indeed, we'll let you know how much rain is on the way. All that in a few minutes' time. Back inside Sarah.
And I did return your umbrella. You can vouch for that. You're ready for the rain. We'll talk about that a little later. City Council is meeting today, and there are a number of items up for discussion. A hot topic currently is housing. CTV's Jack Morris joins us live tonight now with more on the meeting. Jack, where would you like to start?
Well, Sarah, we've got a marathon of rezoning hearings that are happening soon. Right here in Barrie, residents are going to be free to come in and have their say on any of the four. It's a mixed bag, a new 600-home subdivision, an RVH expansion, an industrial proposal, and a handful of new homes in Tottenville. Council's also looking at a rule restricting street parking in new subdivisions and requiring homes in those subdivisions to have a garage to keep cars off the side of the road. Barrie Mayor Alex Nuttall says they've brought in consultants to advise them on the move. He says it'll make things like garbage collection easier, but one of the biggest reasons is snow.
A smaller road and smaller lots don't have enough space for the snow to go. And, you know, we don't live in Florida. We live in Ontario, Canada, and Barrie, Ontario, Canada. And that has a massive amount of snow implication with it. And so we need to make sure that whatever's happening on the streets in terms of future development doesn't make this problem worse, but actually helps us mitigate and fix it.
Now, snow clearing had been a problem in some newly built subdivisions in the south of Barrie, and this is kind of what they're trying to address here. Now, speaking on development, Nuttall tells us that the moratorium on new builds in the lands acquired from Springwater and Oro Medonte after the annexation will be lifted in 6 to 8 weeks, and at that point they can start seeing some of those applications for builds on those lands start to come in. Sarah, back to you.
That is our Jack Morris reporting live tonight, and we will have an update after council wraps. That'll be on CTV News Barrie at 11. The Ford government, meanwhile, is set to table its budget tomorrow. Ahead of that, the province is expanding the HST rebate to make new homes more affordable. CTV's Queen's Park Bureau Chief Siobhan Morris has those details.
It's a sound there hasn't been much of in recent months. Home starts in Ontario are stuck. In the fall, the province tried to get things going with an HST break for first-time home buyers of new homes. It didn't work. So Ontario's trying again with cooperation from the federal government.
We will be rebating the full HST for all new homes, no matter if you're a first-time buyer, second, or a 10-time buyer. You're getting the HST deducted, valued at $1 million or less.
Buyers can knock a maximum of $130,000 off the cost of a new house or condo. The rebates scale down after that. The deal is good for 1 year, starting April 1st, a window intended to
kickstart the construction of 8,000 additional homes, support up to 21,000 jobs, boost Ontario's GDP by up to $2.7 billion, and bring the dream of home ownership in reach for thousands of Ontario families.
That change will cost the Treasury an estimated $1.4 billion. Now, that's part of the Ontario budget that will be tabled tomorrow. The finance minister acknowledges this has been a year of significant change, upending almost every part of the world we knew.
And we must be prepared for what that change may bring, even if that means being prepared for tougher times.
But Bethlyn Falvey stresses there are some things not up for discussion.
We've seen across the country our fellow provinces announced record deficits, hiked taxes, and cuts to public services. But here in Ontario, we do not believe in raising taxes.
He's also ruled out major program cuts, leaving a path to fiscal balance unclear. At Queen's Park, Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
And now we are getting some local reaction to that announcement tonight. Here's Barrie Mayor Alex Nuttall.
If we can find ways for young families to get into their first homes, I think that's a good thing to look at. So the HST, I think, goes one half of the way that we need to go on this subject. I think the city needs to look more at matching what the province is doing and supporting what the province is doing on this to try to get some life back into this industry locally.
The mayor adding Barrie is exploring options to reduce development charges for new builds in the city, promising details on that are coming soon. Caledon OPP has wrapped up an 8-day enforcement blitz, laying more than 1,100 charges over 2 weekends in February and March. Officers issued hundreds of traffic tickets, including 745 for illegal tint and obstructed plates. Police say dark windows and hidden license plates reduce visibility, making it harder to see hazards and for law enforcement to do their job. A heads up for drivers traveling through Springwater Township tomorrow. A temporary road closure is scheduled on Vespra Valley Road. The section from Highway 26 to Snow Valley Road will be closed from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. to allow for a tree removal project. Residents can use Highway 26 to George Johnston Road or Snow Valley Road to George Johnston to access that area. To help face high demand for veterinary care here in our region, the Ontario SPCA and Humane Society is expanding surgery capacity.
Hi, Lovey. Hi, Lovey. How are you? You okay? Yeah, you're doing good. It's always a busy day here, every day.
More spots are opening up at the Marion Vernon Memorial Animal Clinic in Barrie for pet owners looking to spay and neuter their animals. The move comes as communities not only locally but right across the province continue to battle ongoing pet clinic shortages and cost barriers.
We're now able to accommodate approximately 1,400 a month. People are coming from hours away to book appointments with us. We work with, the public as well as shelters that at certain times of the year are overwhelmed with puppies and other and kittens and cats coming in. And then we also work with feral rescues that are also helping keep the population reduced.
Appointments are currently available at the Barrie location with no reported wait times, and booking for April is set to open by the 7th. Still to come, applauding shared experiences, celebrating caregivers and the crucial work they do every day. Plus, thousands flock to the base of Blue Mountain for this artistic expression. Stay with us. You're watching CTV News Barrie. Thanks for staying with us. It was a day to celebrate the people who dedicate their time to help others, lending a hand daily to make sure that all are living their best lives possible.
And they're an Ontario organization that really pioneers a lot.
I've been a caregiver now for approximately 20 years. It's one of those things that once you're a caregiver, it just kind of keeps falling in your lap and you're always a caregiver.
The Couchiching Ontario Health Team, in partnership with North Simcoe Muskoka Specialized Geriatric Services, hosted its annual Caregiver Appreciation event today. It brought caregivers, health and social service providers together to share their experiences, receive support, and give a round of applause to each other.
I think we're getting better at becoming more aware of the plight of caregivers. So when we think about caregivers, what we know is that they provide 75 to 90% of a person's care. And if you think about it, if we didn't have caregivers, the healthcare system would crumble under the weight of what is needed.
It's important to me to be the voice of the patient, family, and caregivers. And to bring our voice to the table so that we can improve, enhance, and just make the caregiving journey easier.
It's important for healthcare providers and caregivers to collaborate together, because when we work together, the outcomes for the people we support are much improved.
The free event covered a wide range of topics, including home safety, social prescribing, and supports available through the Ontario Caregiver Organization. It is one of the most popular art galleries in our region, attracting more than 10,000 visitors a year. And the reasons why Bright's gallery is so busy are many.
Yeah, it's quite magical to see that moment when people are like, I've been looking for something like this for years.
Located at the foot of Blue Mountain, Bright's Gallery offers fine Canadian art of many genres for just about any age. The curated collection of paintings and sculptures is about illuminating spaces, igniting imaginations, and making artistic dreams a reality.
I just had a family the other day, and when they found the piece that they loved, they went away for a little bit to discuss it, came back and came in running. We're gonna buy it! We're like when that kind of joy, especially from children that are really connected to the works, is quite a tremendous joy to have them in here. But yeah.
A lot of beautiful pieces there. Bright's Gallery in the Blue Mountain Village is open every day. A 20-year broadcasting career doesn't come without its highs and its lows, and that's how I spent my morning, sharing lived experience.
Our guest speaker, Sarah Freemark. I'm sure she'll be a familiar face.
That is the Barrie Huroney Probus Club, and I had the pleasure of speaking to the group at the local Legion about the trials, the tribulations, and the triumphs of my career. And of course, at times, it can be emotional. Now, at the end, we open up the floor for questions, and the most meaningful question I received today: what's the best and worst part of the job? The best, the community, for sure. You folks make it fabulous. But the worst, the toll that it can sometimes take on your confidence. So the message: let's all try and be a little more kinder to one another. Time now to look ahead to the weekend. Here's Bounce 104 Morning Show host Martin Van Coy with your weekend event listings.
Hi, I'm Martin Van Coy for Bounce Radio, and these are your weekend events for Pure Country 106 and Bounce 104.1. Kicking things off this weekend is Rock Solid Wrestling. It's happening this Saturday at Bracebridge and Muskoka Lake Secondary School. Fans can expect a high-energy, family-friendly night of professional wrestling featuring stars like Canadian heavyweight champion Daddy Davis. The event supports Community Living South Muskoka, and tickets are $25 for floor seats. You can learn more at rocksolidpro.ca. From high-impact action to maple season fun, the Sweetwater Harvest Festival takes over this Saturday and Sunday at Ste. Marie among the Hurons and Wymarsh Wildlife Center in Midland. Celebrate the arrival of spring with maple taffy tastings, hands-on demonstrations, family crafts, outdoor activities, and a vendor market. It's a great way for all ages to welcome the season. You can learn more at wymarsh.com. Also happening this weekend, 24-hour Blue Mountain. It's returning from Friday through Sunday, and this fundraiser at Blue Mountain Village supports Special Olympics Ontario and local charities. Teams ski and snowboard around the clock to earn points through creative challenges. Also, enjoy live music, sunrise laps, and the legendary 2 a.m. pizza party. You can learn more at bluemountain.ca. And finally, artists and creators are invited to take part in Fashion Forward 2026 at the Aurelia Museum of Art and History. The event takes place Saturday, and this year's theme is From Artifact to EcoAct, which challenges designers to create wearable art inspired by museum artifacts using sustainable and repurposed materials. It's open to artists of all experience levels, including students and youth. You can learn more at aureliamuseum.org. Those are your weekend events for Bounce 104.1 and Pure Country 106.
Still to come, gearing up for opening day. We'll have more on what's new at the ballpark ahead of the Blue Jays home opener on Friday. But first, let's head outside. Cases in the Garden.
You know, in junior hockey playoffs, the Owen Sound Attack tomorrow night take on the Flint Firebirds, I believe, in Owen Sound, which happened to be the hot spot in our region today. 8 degrees. Kind of makes you sad to see winter leave as the temperatures climb. Our weather watcher artiste, have a look. Yeah, Emma and Vanessa say, no, that's good. We're happy to welcome spring. You're watching CTV News Barrie.
Picture this, brought to you by Bounce 104.1 and Pure Country 106.
We were asking for photos of Paws into Spring, showing us your pets enjoying the melt, the mud, the sunshine, but we saw some chickens in there, although I did grow up on a chicken farm, so that is considered a pet. But hey, keep them coming. Love that. Picture this at ctv.ca. Case, I've told you before, we have the best viewers. I received a homemade care package that included these homemade pickles from Bonita Haggard. She included a handwritten note that shared that everything was grown by her, from the cucumbers to the garlic to the dill. And the last little line on that note, these pickles really pack a punch. You can see I've been sharing. And yes, they do pack a punch.
Nothing like a pickle before the forecast, eh? There you go. I like it. I like it. Well, packing a punch is what this winter has certainly done. And as for the pickles, you should keep passing them out because winter's not finished with us just yet. Let's continue on and dive into the forecast, see what we're talking about as far as temperatures go. Okay, this is not bad, right? 8 degrees, no and sound, hot spot today, yeah. 6 degrees in Collingwood, yeah, fair, lovely, lovely. 4 degrees in Alliston, 6 in Mount Forest, 3 in Toronto, and 5 degrees up Parry Sound Way temperatures as we speak, ladies and gentlemen. The Almanac, 4 degrees here in Barrie, 4 and -7, that's the high, that's the low. A record 19 degrees in 2000, and record cool -21.8 in 2014. Sunrise 7:10, sets at 7:38. 12 hours and 28 minutes of daylight. Lots of cloud cover, some mixed precipitation. Are there moments of sunshine? Yes, there are, but look at what else there is. There is some mixed precipitation. Now, when I'm going on about winter, yeah, it's still not very mild out, okay? We're still dealing with, well, 1 degree overnight. That's above the freezing mark. That's lovely. Mainly cloudy skies. This is, of course, southern tip of Georgian Bay Lake, Simcoe. And light winds for this evening. 40% chance of rain and or a flurry, okay? So, yeah, it's kind of winter-like. And then for tomorrow, 5, 6, 7 degrees for the high, mostly cloudy skies. And it's a 40% chance of mixed precipitation. We're leaning towards the rain, about 5 millimeters of rainfall in this particular area. Over to Orangeville, Bradford, Georgina, Newmarket, Richmond Hill, 1 and 2 degrees overnight, mainly cloudy, and a 40% chance of a light shower. And then for tomorrow, into double digits, 10, 11 degrees, 5 to 10 millimeters of rainfall, moments of sunshine, lots of cloud cover, but moments of sunshine. Parry Sound, Huntsville, Bracebridge, Gravenhurst, Haliburton, 0 overnight, mainly cloudy skies. We're looking at a 40% chance of a rain-snow combination, Gravenhurst and Haliburton. And then for tomorrow, 4, 5, and 8 degrees in Haliburton, 1 to 3 millimeters of rainfall. These temperatures aren't bad. What's he talking about, winter? Well, he's talking about the Diamond and Diamond Lawyers 5-day extended forecast. That's what he's talking about because, yeah, we're dipping down again, ladies and gentlemen, and we do have the opportunity. Yes, there is the opportunity. Winter-like temperatures. Yeah, on Friday, certainly bright and sunny, but -3 for the high, -12. Yeah, and Saturday at this point, it's looking like a 40% chance of, now, we're saying flurry activity. There is some sunshine, but certainly flurry activity. The percentage there is quite high when it's -2 for flurries. And we're looking at Sunday being cloudy skies, 7. We're back up. And back up again, 6 degrees, sun and cloud for Monday. 5-day extended forecast, short region. Have a look. Friday looks lovely, plenty of sunshine, 2 degrees. Overnight, -12. The high for Saturday is 1, and there's a 40% chance. We're going to go with a rain-snow combination, and at this point, it's looking like Sunday, 5 degrees, so we are getting there as far as our temperatures go. We are climbing, and 8 degrees on Monday, a sun cloud, lovely, lovely. And Muskoka, Parry Sound, Haliburton, at this point, Friday, bright and sunny, -3 for the high, -16 for the overnight low. That could push into about -22, -25 for the overnight wind chill. Saturday, at this point, it's looking like a 40% chance of a few flurries coming down, -2, -10. Then the sun goes away Sunday, but the temperature rises 7 degrees and 7 again on the Monday, and a sun and cloud mix. So the temperature's still all over the place as far as, well, that's what spring is. Wouldn't you agree? And pass me a pickle, Sarah.
I may have enjoyed a few more spears. There are a few left out, Casey Colby. In the meantime, time is running out for you to get your chance to win in one of the region's biggest 50-50 draws. The RVH Auxiliary 50-50 Community Draw closes in just a few hours, and that's all the time you have left to pick up a ticket. This monthly draw is a key fundraiser supporting Simcoe County's largest hospital and the vital work that it does.
It is important because whether you use it this year or 50 years from now, the equipment will be there and the staff to help you through your care that you need, for whether it's for yourself or a family member or a friend.
The RVH Auxiliary has promised $2.5 million to the Hospital Foundation for a new MRI. Right now, the jackpot is sitting at $353,000, so don't wait much longer. Ticket sales close at 1 minute to midnight. with the draw set for Friday morning. And that, folks, is why you don't eat during a newscast. Turning now to the diamond. As a defending American League champion, Toronto Blue Jays are getting ready to kick off their season on Friday. CTV's Sean Leathong has more on what fans can expect at the ballpark this season.
From celebrating the Blue Jays' past, to the overwhelming demand for new merch, to the giveaways that connect fans with their team, this year the Rogers Centre is focused on history and hype.
What a better way to be able to celebrate that than during our 50th season.
Fans entering the stadium at the 100 level can now get up close to memorabilia from this team's rich history, like the glory years, including Joe Carter's gear from this.
Well hit down the left field line, way back
and the bat, known throughout baseball for this. Even right up to last season, with this display laying the groundwork for what will soon become a Hall of Excellence. Over at the Jays shop, they're getting jerseys ready for the opening day rush.
There's still a lot of demands, right? We're American League champs, and that's certainly something to celebrate.
American League Championship merch is moving, and more, including this 50th season collaboration with Roots Canada showcasing the Jays in black and gold. There's also the stuff you get just for going to a game, with 90% of Jays home games including a giveaway. Everything from a SpongeBob jersey to the retro Domer hat.
Domer was the original Sky Dome mascot, and he's a turtle, he's adorable, his shell kind of represents the dome.
Also, a bobblehead of George Springer leaping after his home run in Game 7 of the American League Championship Series, and the Vladimir Guerrero Jr. born for this bobblehead, a nod to the now famous photo of a young Vladdy with his father while a member of the Montreal Expos. And then there's the food. Each season bringing new menu items with a play on the traditional, like the Al Pastor dog with pulled pork and pineapple, or the unexpected, Uncrustables French toast.
French toast. At the ballpark. Not bad.
For stadium upgrades, the biggest is the Rogers Terrace located on the 200 level behind home plate for fans who want a more luxury experience, but
to get in here, this is a member-based club. It is sold out for the season.
With lots of room for about 1,000 fans, that is still close to the action.
And the reason why it's called the Rogers Terrace isn't just because of this large indoor area, but also you can step outside to an exclusive patio, but remember, it's members only.
With just days before the 2026 season, their home is ready to celebrate what has come before in anticipation of what's next. Sean Leathong, CTV News.
Seems we're all eating on the job tonight. Coming up next here on CTV Barrie, the ups and downs of Mother Nature's wrath. Climatologist Dave Phillips will join us in studio to discuss what made the ice storm of 2025 so unique and whether we're in for a sizzling summer. Do stay with us.
Hi, we're Martin and Steph
from Bounce 104.1.
And this week on the show, we're giving away tickets to see Acrobat, which is a U2 tribute show.
They're going to be at the Gravenhurst Opera House on April 11th.
So make sure you tune in Monday to Friday from 5:30 to 10 for your chance to win.
Recapping our top stories, drivers have been on the gas price roller coaster with a nearly 13-cent drop today. And according to Canadians for Affordable Energy, gas is expected to increase 7 cents tonight. But McTagg did add that prices will start to drop once again as we head into the weekend. Barrie City Council focusing on rezoning hearings tonight with the public free to speak on 4 proposed developments. A new 600-home subdivision, the RVH expansion, an industrial proposal, and a handful of new homes in Tollendale, And Barrie Mayor Alex Nuttall and CFB Borden declaring that the 2026 Barrie Airshow will have its full fleet of scheduled headliners, including the Snowbirds, along with the first ever Twilight and Fireworks show that's Saturday night. Last year's event saw nearly 90,000 spectators and brought in about $5.5 million towards economic impact. Well, the often turbulent weather has certainly been a topic of conversation in our region for some time, and it doesn't seem to be letting up. Joining us now in the CTV Barrie studio is former senior climatologist with Environment Canada, Dave Phillips. It's so nice to have you in person.
Sarah, I'm just delighted to be on your set to talk to you in person. This is a great opportunity. I'm looking forward to it.
We were discussing about how we've been working back and forth over the last 15 years together, but most of it's been virtual. Dave, before we look forward, let's jump back. On Saturday, that will mark 1 year since the ice storm of last year. What was really unique about that storm?
Well, Sarah, I think the costs involved. I mean, there are costs, insurance costs, but also the loss of precious trees, shade trees at Grandma's place that are gone, and the beauty. they were taken away from us. But the cost was really stood out for me. Of all of the major disasters that occurred in last year, from hailstorms in Calgary to tornadoes to wildfires, the ice storm here in central Ontario was the most expensive disaster for insurance companies, over almost $500 million in losses. But as I say, I mean, the property, you can replace those losses of food that went spoiled, but you can't really replace the trees that you lost.
So you and I were chatting a few minutes here before we went live, and you said the last 2 weeks in some ways were interesting, but it gives us something to look forward to. Please explain.
Well, you know, Sarah, we've had a tough winter. Everybody knows that. And it started very warm in the fall, so we went from almost sweat to slush. November, it started cold and snowy. November, December, January, February, and March. Every one of those months has more snow than normal and colder than normal. I've never seen in 25 years such a consistent kind of cold, and the look and the feel of winter was there. So I thought, okay, March is here. You know, winter season's over, the spring has sprung. The last 2 weeks, Sarah, I mean, talk about people feel down in the dumps and miserable about the weather. They're justified, because in those 14 days, 13 had some snow. Not a lot, but even a dusting of snow. And only 2 were warmer than normal. So it was probably, this is just, we're saying, come on. We owed some good weather, and it hasn't yeared. I mean, Mother Nature has been very unkind to us, but we see some good things happening.
Let's talk about that. Let's lighten some spirits out there. What do we have to look forward to? What are we expecting weather-wise?
Well, Sarah, forget March. March, we're going to write it off and just going to jump over to April. Now, what we see in the first week of April, next week, for example, we see kind of interesting. We see some warm air poised at the border of the United States are ready to come in, and we see the cold air has retreated over to central Quebec. So we're going to go through maybe about 7 days, 8 days of what we call seasonable temperature, just kind of what you expect, maple syrup weather, where it's melting during the day and freezing at night. But then I would say about the 13th, 15th of April, it's coming. The warm air is going to arrive, and winter will come back maybe 1 day, but only 1 day, and we'll just now go, people can go to the garden center and maybe just do some window shopping. Don't buy any plants yet, but we're gonna melt all the snow, we're gonna melt thaw the ground out, get rid of the ice, and summer is going to come very soon. And some good news about summer, we're saying it's going to be warmer than normal. And so all of that complaining that people did about the winter, don't do it in the summer, because you did enough complaining already.
Okay, now you do know, Dave, we're going to hold you to that.
Oh, no.
Now that you promised it's warmer than usual winter.
Well, we'll chat, and I'll just tell you how warm and humid it's been.
Thank you very much. We are speaking to former senior climatologist for Environment Canada, Dave Phillips. Always a pleasure.
Thank you, Sarah.
This was quite the discussion. You can find it on our website. It will be loaded on there along with newscasts and other digital articles, ctvnews.ca/Barrie. Now, if you have been downtown Toronto and looked up recently, you've probably seen it. The Pinnacle Sky Tower is reshaping the city skyline at 106 stories high. CTV's Beth McDonnell has a view from the top.
Take a look at the view from the edge, then down. It's the same height as the main observation deck of the CN Tower. Pinnacle Sky Tower goes even a bit higher than that, reaching a total elevation of 352 meters. CTV News Toronto took a tour with Anson Kwok, the VP of Sales and Marketing, and architect Nadine El-Ghazar. First up, going up 99 floors in an elevator.
It's a bit narrow here, so just watch your shoulders.
We then climb flights of stairs inside the tower's tapered upper floors to unfinished sections where workers are still busy building, and the top.
I love coming up here, actually. To see it in real life is very satisfying, and obviously you can see it from almost anywhere in the city now, so it's really kind of gratifying.
It was immediately apparent that this was a monumental project, not only because of its height, which of course is amazing, but also its impact on the skyline.
A super tall skyscraper must be 300 meters high. That's the equivalent to about 3 city blocks. And right now, Toronto is in a super tall skyscraper boom. There are at least 9 super talls in the works or rising in Toronto, including One Bloor West at 85 stories, the country's first super tall building. Pinnacle also has a sister 95-story building being planned next to Sky Tower.
In Toronto, we kind of stopped at around 60 stories for a long time, and now we're over 100. So it's having that vision. And with a city with still trying to battle transit and traffic, having more people live close to their workplace is really was the original goal.
The team is excited and proud to reach this point of construction. Planning for Sky Tower began in 2012. Its 12-sided polygon with white metal framing is meant to evoke a 12-sided jewel.
To design and build a tower that is distinct but maintains its elegance in the skyline was really something that was important to us.
A restaurant is being planned for the 106th floor. A hotel is making up the first 12 floors, and residential units up to the 56th floor are expected to be ready this fall. Beth McDonnell, CTV News.
Taking a look at our markets now, whew, that kind of height makes me a little dizzy. Canada's main stock index saw a big boost, up nearly 300 points in late morning trading. Let's take a look at where the numbers closed at the end of the day. The TSX was up 441 points, the Dow was up 305, and the Nasdaq was up 167. And commodities oil was down, closing at $90.32 a barrel. Gold was up, finishing up $4,552 an ounce, and our dollar down, ending the day at 72.46 cents US. Still to come, lights, camera, action. Canada is home to some of the biggest names in film and TV right now. Nominations for the Canadian Screen Awards are in. We've got your sneak peek at what's been heating up this year. Stay with us. That's on the other side of the break.
It's that time of the year. It's our Feeding Families food drive. The demand has never been greater. We're hitting the road as we partner with the Peggy Hill team and our radio partners at Pure Country 106 and Bounce 1041.
Pure Country 106. Central Ontario's home for the best country music. Listen for your chance to win $50,000 with Pure Country's big $50K payday.
Here's a look at your primetime lineup. The Rookie is at 8 and 9 o'clock, followed by Criminal Minds at 10 p.m. and CTV News Barrie at 11. The nominations have been announced for the 2026 Canadian Screen Awards. Heated Rivalry craves Hockey Romance is up for 18 awards, including Best Drama. However, the comedy drama North of North received the most nominations.
When people ask where I'm from, I say think of the furthest place north you've ever been. Now keep going.
North of North is up for 20 awards, including Best Comedy Series. In the film categories, 40 Acres leads with 10 noms. The award show will be hosted by Andrew Fung and will air on May 31st on multiple stations and platforms, including CTV and Crave. CTV and Crave are both divisions of Bell Media. Time for Get Up and Go, just like, aha, the Pickles have get up and gone.
They have got up and left, haven't they? I've got them out here, but before we get pickling, let's talk about the Get Up and Go forecast first thing tomorrow morning. What are we looking at? Well, let's have a little look-see. First thing, well, it's looking like predominantly sunny skies in the Barrie area, 0 at 7 o'clock. Looks like 1 degree in Newmarket, and it looks like 1 degree under mostly cloudy skies in Gravenhurst. And Sarah, I'm not so sure this jar is supposed to be as cloudy as it. I mean, what's in there, too? There's weeds and everything, and garlic, and I'll take one right now. And I'm not normally a pickle guy, but fantastic. Back inside.
Who eats the whole spear at once? Folks, be patient. We'll teach Case, and we will also explain to him what makes a good brine, that nice cloudy look. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Sarah Freemark. Jack will wrap things up tonight at 11. I'll go and check and make sure Casey's okay. Good night.